Hello, my name is Renee Leith-Manos. Welcome to this podcast, Where to From Here, featuring conversations about luxury travel and how it's changing in every pocket of the globe. I've just had a 3-night stay at Capella Singapore, which is a magnificent hotel. It's set in 30 acres of lush green land on Sentosa, just outside Singapore. Lady Gaga stayed there, Madonna stayed there, and I can see why. Singaporeans are actually the most popular guests. And when you look at the Singapore lifestyle for most people, which is living in a pretty small apartment, you can understand why they love to go for a staycation to Sentosa and to Capella Singapore, which is actually located in a location where you can walk down to the beach and to the ocean. Rooms are huge. The grounds are even larger. And it's an incredibly designed property because there's some original colonial buildings that were basically renovated and completely almost reconstructed from the sort of ruins that were there. And then that sort of marries with really modern architectural buildings that the restaurant and some of the rooms sit in. And then the villas, where I was lucky enough to stay, are all set all over the property. And there's also some villas for more permanent residents who can stay there for quite a while. But let me take you on a journey and tell you what I really love about this hotel and why you really, really must stay there sometime. There is some fantastic food at Capella Singapore. The show-stopping restaurant is definitely Fiamma, which is an Italian restaurant, and they've had spent $5 million completely renovating this restaurant from the kitchen to the outside. It is in really kind of subtle pastel hues. It's a very calming environment, and it's equally as conducive to a couple wanting a quick meal as well as a family. And it's large enough that these kind of groups are separated. There's also outdoor dining, and you can also see into the kitchen, which is one of my favorite things because I find it quite entertaining watching the chefs working, chopping up food. And it also gives you a feel of just how fresh and how much work and detail is going into every meal. There's a brilliant Chinese restaurant by Michelin-starred chef Mauro Calagrico, and he's crafted a very diverse menu where, it's been voted some of the best yum cha in Singapore. But when you order it, it's not your typical yum cha dumplings. He's got all sorts of personal and modern twists on them, which just makes it really, really interesting. I find the interiors absolutely stunning, very decadent, very Hong Kong. There's black sort of lacquered surfaces, there's cream, there's grey, and it's just a really elegant place, whether it's for a business meeting or, again, a romantic meal, and it's equally as fabulous for lunch and for dinner. The accompanying wine lists in both of those restaurants are fantastic. They're very, very global. And one thing that I really like is they have a lot of wines by the glass. This is handy if your partner doesn't drink, or like me, if you maybe just want 1 or 2 glasses or just a taste, you really can get, a really diverse selection, which, is just wonderful. And they don't mind giving you taste of lots of different ones, which is fantastic. Breakfast for anyone who has stayed at a Capella hotel is becoming a bit of a signature of that brand. Like other Capellas I have stayed in, they give you a breakfast menu. So you have many different things to choose from. And they're not just your standard scrambled egg. They're very gourmet. There's avocado there. There's all sorts of sort of decadent, waffle style dishes. So again, it caters to everyone in every family and every appetite. But in addition, they have a huge buffet. And again, the quality of food on that buffet is absolutely world class. I mean, there's incredible, meat selection, salmon selection. They will also cook your scrambled eggs, fresh to order if you don't want the gourmet dishes off the a la carte menu. There's amazing, fresh juices. Obviously, there's barista coffee. There's fresh baked items. I mean, for me, staying at Capella, I'm actually not a breakfast person, but that's one of the hotels in the world where I make an exception and I really make a sort of a thing of it, because it's not a meal that you want to rush. It's a meal that you want to really enjoy and take in. And you actually have your breakfast there in Fiamma restaurant. There's a room service menu, and there's Bob's Bar, which is a really relaxed bar. You can see views of the South China Sea, which is lovely. And look, it's a lovely place to just have a drink, relax and chill out. The Capella Curates is a really clever initiative by the Capella brand. And what it is the staff on site actually go out and find really unique tours and activities for guests to do to help them understand more about the country or the city that they're in. So in Singapore, this can include things like cooking lessons, or I actually went on a tour, which was absolutely fantastic, on a motorbike, would you believe, in the sidecar of the motorbike, and learned all about the feng shui aspects of Singapore. So a car drove me from Capella Singapore into town, and then I got picked up for my tour. It was just me and the tour guide, so very intimate. So he, did things like take particular photos of me and explain certain things, because it was, really based on what I was personally interested in. And I just learned so much about Singapore, and I've been there millions of times before, but I learned things that I really had never even, contemplated, as to why things were built the way they are, why the setting is the way they are, even why some of the buildings were built in the direction they're in to encourage positive energy and positive feng shui. So Capella Curates is just a really great way to get out of the hotel, but not to waste your time. I mean, that whole tour for me basically took 90 minutes from door to door. So I didn't lose too much that beautiful time that I really wanted at Capella, or relaxing and enjoying everything within the hotel that's on offer. Now, the Agrula Spa, I hope I've pronounced that right, is a gorgeous, beautiful, award-winning space to completely relax and unwind. Unlike many other spas in five-star hotels, this has an incredible complimentary area that any guest can use, even if they're not having a treatment, but you're mad if you don't have a treatment and you're staying in the hotel. There's a beautiful heated pool, and they've got massage jets, which can really help with shoulder tension, which I think we all have now with too much time on the computer. And you can also lie down on metal beds submerged under the water with jets coming up that, again, really massage every part of your body. They also have hot and cold rooms. They have ice baths, which of course is great for tightening the pores on your face and also the muscles on your body. And going from hot to cold is also great. And they've got steam showers. So that means water doesn't come out, but actual steam comes out. There's a hot and a cold one, and there are rainbow lights, which are also said to really reduce stress and encourage just a total calm feeling within anyone who uses them. So all of those features I've described are complementary and part of the health facility that complements the spa. I had a massage, which was just glorious. And afterwards, you can really walk out into the gardens of Capella. There's a little sort of a private area, so no one else, can see you. You have a beautiful tea afterwards. And I just think, when you're in an environment where you're on holidays, you're there to relax, using a spa is really important, but this one is very special. There are 112 rooms at Capella Singapore, and there are premier sea view rooms, suites, and 38 spacious villas. Now, I stayed in a villa and I can't stop talking about it. These are the type of rooms that you just don't want to leave. There's basically 3 huge rooms. There's a lounge room that you walk into with, chairs and glass. The whole thing has glass walls, so you can see outside. So very much bringing the outside in. There's an incredible mini bar. There's workspaces if you want to be working. And then that adjoins the huge king bedroom, which has a wardrobe at the back of the bed, his and hers, and just plenty of space, again, to relax. And opposite that outside is your own small plunge pool. So it's, just so easy to relax. And then adjoining that is a huge bathroom, which has a separate shower, separate toilet, and there is actually a bath outside on a patio and an outdoor shower. So this couldn't be more spacious. And the products are Aesop, which is quite nice because, as I said, this bathroom and even the room and the villa that I was in is very much all about bringing the outside in, which is a brand, message from Aesop as well. So, they've really thought through the products and the branding and the feel of the rooms in the hotel, so it flows. There's a massive balcony running right along the front of the villa, which is a really calming place to sit, whether you're working or just chilling. And the plunge pool is 3 meters by 3 meters, which is actually quite large. And I have to tell you that in the bar fridge in the room, they have drinks from Manhattan Bar, which is one of my favorite bars in Singapore, which is not in the hotel, but they have pre-mixed Negronis there, which are fantastic. So, the attention to detail, again, just in every part of this hotel is just immaculate. So who would stay at Capella Singapore? Look, this is a hotel for anyone wanting a break, wanting some time out, and wanting some space. The colonial architecture, which is the main building where you arrive at reception, is very, very elegant. you know, it's a little bit reminiscent of Raffles, which is of course in the heart of Singapore, that beautiful hotel. And in the colonial buildings, you'll find there's a private lounge where you can go at any time and have a cup of tea. They have high tea there for guests during the afternoon. And also there's a lot of people there that just go for a chat, go to have, you know, a meeting with someone. It's just an elegant space. And there's a couple of restaurants there not owned by the hotel where you can have a cocktail if you feel like it, but even just to have a walk, you know, along the sand, even to dip your toes in the water. And you just sort of look back on Capella, on this vast hotel, and just realize how magnificent this property really is. Art is also a big feature of this property. There are over 900 different pieces of art. My favorite would be the fish wall, which is a wall of kind of stainless steel fish that sits next to or leads into the spa and opposite a water feature, which is very, very appropriate. And there are 3 swimming pools. There's one which is adults only, which is fantastic. But there are 2 other massive swimming pools where the kids can play. And one of them is right on the edge of Fiamma Restaurant. So you really do get that, again, that inside outside feel. And it's a constant filling of water because you can see the ocean from a lot of points of the hotel. And if you can't see the ocean, you can also see the swimming pools. So you really, you know, you get a feeling of a vacay no matter where you are, and just one of absolute tranquility and calm. It takes about 18 minutes to drive to the city, to the heart of Singapore. And there's also a free shuttle to go to nearby shopping centres. But I have to be honest and tell you, I didn't leave. I mean, this is the kind of hotel, and I'm someone who leaves all the time. I love exploring cities and I love Singapore and I love shopping. But I just found that Capella had so much to offer and was so all-encompassing. The staff was so lovely. The other thing is that they do have buggies to take you from the colonial main part of the building to your room if you just sort of can't be bothered walking, which most people do all the time because you're on holidays. And there is, you know, lots of places conversely to do fitness. So I found there was just plenty to do. And, you know, enjoying that villa room was just, you know, a highlight of my stay for me. But yeah, there's so much about this hotel that's just wonderful.